Are you gonna dance you if I show you my money?
You can introduce yourself to the community.
Yes, good afternoon, viewers, I must say.
Yeah.
Yes, and Mr. Patrick as well, thank you.
Yeah.
My name is Jules Rijssen. I work at Imagine IC. Imagine IC is an intangible heritage institution. We have been working for the past 21 years in Amsterdam Southeast. We started, I think, the older viewers might remember us when we started. We started near the main entrance of the Amsterdam port at the front. There we have been for a couple of years, and over the last 2-3 years we are in this building. It used to be part of the government tax, the Belastingdienst of Amsterdam, together with the library Opa Berman Centrum. I always explain there are two families living in one house.
Okay.
So as people might see later, we are in the library of Openbaar Bibliotheek, which is together our house of IC, and the library has its own track. We are developing our own projects, and together sometimes we have mutual projects that we do along the year. But as mentioned before, what we are doing as IC is that we're trying to, one of the main things is to collect stories of Southeast, the way Southeast has developed, stories of people who came to Southeast, start living here.
That is the migrants.
Yes, building the houses here as well, building the new homes as well. Not only migrants, but as you know, this Bermermeer area was, when we started building the house in the 60s, it was especially for people living in Amsterdam who were dealing with a shortage of houses. There were not enough houses in Amsterdam. That was going on for many years, and after World War II, they think of okay, they have to expand, they have to build new houses now, and when they started building in Amsterdam East, the first idea was to build houses for people with a middle, so-called lower middle, higher lower status, middle income. But when the people who came from all parts of Amsterdam moved into this new place with a lot of spaces, a lot of new apartments, one key element they found disturbing, that was the fact that living in these high-rise apartment buildings has a negative element, that is that you don't see your neighbors that often if you want to. So what happened is that after a while, the first so-called migrants, that were just the general Dutch population living in Amsterdam, out of Amsterdam, when they moved here, they found a very beautiful place to live, and many of them still live here, but a lot of them moved away because they said, okay, we want to live not so high, 10 floors, 9, 8 floors. I want just to live in just a regular neighborhood, and I want to be able to park my car in front of my house. I want to have like a front garden and a back garden, all those kinds of things, and a more lower level buildings or apartments. And what happened is then in the 70s, as you know, when a lot of those apartments were empty, a lot of people came from Suriname, from this Amsterdam as well, and all other places of the world. Later, Ghanaian people came in the early 80s.
Okay.
First, Germany, a lot of Ghanaian people went to Germany as well, then to Amsterdam. And as you know, if you want to have a house, you have to register for a house. I think the waiting time is something like 10 years or something like that. I'm not sure if it's 10 years. You put your name on the list before you are eligible to have to find an apartment. But this was called the so-called free sector. It means that you didn't have to enroll on any list. You don't have to register in a so-called house-seeking list run by various building corporations. But it was easy to come here and to rent an apartment because they were empty, and in those days they were quite expensive already.
Yeah.
So This is the reason that when the building corporation faces this problem, a lot of it's empty, they were building the apartments and still they could not rent them to the full extent as they wanted to. So-called migrants from Suriname, Antillians, Ghana, Nigeria, former East Europe, as well as so forth, Poland, India, all over the world, Pakistan people moved here, came here, work here, lived here, and then what happened, what is the part of migration is that when people go for the first time to another place, another country, they will stay a couple of months or a couple of years and then they will move away. So a lot of people, they came first, stay a while with families or relatives or friends, and then when they found a job and they found they had enough money to rent for themselves a whole apartment, they moved to another apartment here, or they moved away from Amsterdam. They went to other places, also from Amsterdam, other places in Amsterdam. So this is the story of Southeast in a nutshell. And my work is on my card. It's written. We call it verzamelnetwerker. Verzameler is somebody that collects, and networker. What do I collect? I collect stories of Southeast. This is for us a very beautiful place to be, and we want to engage in conversations with people from all kinds of background, ethnic groups. We call it the network, that want to share their stories with us.
Okay. If so, do you think people cannot afford to pay? That's why they pull out all the buildings and build the short ones.
Well, that is one of the things. One of the things was not the main reason. One of the things they thought of demolishing the buildings was they said that these high-rise apartment buildings, they have the effect of alienation, so people cannot get used to it. They don't know the neighbors. Those high streets, all the garages. They were used to be, especially for people to park the car, because the garages were empty. And they say, okay, you have homeless people in those garages, a bit of petty crime, a lot of petty crime. And they say the best way to manage this new environment is to tear down the high-rise apartments. And what they did for the major part, what they did is that they make a combination of lower apartments and just what you call independent houses. But on some of the high-rise apartments, they have selected one block, and they have demolished the rest of it. And then there's the so-called Museum. The Museum is the part between Ghanees and Ghanees. From Grubbehoeven, I think Egodonk, Kauwnoord, those flats at the other side of the street are still in their old function. The idea is to keep them in the same manner, and as a way to tell the story of building plans, architecture in the Bijlmermeer, and the way how they have constructed the houses, so that people that comes now, never been to Southeast, they still see an old part of the old Bijlmer. This is the combination of elements, high-rise apartment buildings, and try to build all kinds of new houses because people are not going to stay. And this is the reason why when you go to Ghanees, from you see a part of Bullerwijk, Eersteveld, is 4 floors, and from Holendrecht to Ghanees, we have 4 floors and just all kinds of other houses.
Okay.
So this is the reason. This is the reason behind it, not to build high-rise apartments building there.
Oh, nice. What is the reason why you collected different stories from all over the world?
Okay, what we are doing is it started with. I think many years ago as what we call oral institution, oral history institution, where they started to collect stories from an oral history background of migrants coming from all over the world, one can say. But 5 to 6 years ago, there was in the local council there was this debate of every city that is a major city in the south, and every borough must have something like an own museum. So to live in Amsterdam, you know, Amsterdam has a lot of museums. But to live in Amsterdam, it is necessary to have an own museum within your own borders. It is a good thing to have our own museum here. So now we have this Berman Museum that is run by Mr. Eigen at Pribbehoeven. People know Café de Nachtegaal. You can go over there and you see a lot of stories of Southeast. Collect stories of this very nice region. And that is what we did. We started in 2014 with preparation. 2015 we had our for almost 6 years we had an exhibition called Bermermeer, Vitrine, Glaascase of Southeast, with all kinds of stories. And a part of the stories, the items you can see behind me, are a part of the items that we had in that exhibition. And what we did in the past 5 years is that we came across many people and organizations that used to be in Southeast, but they have they closed now. They are not existing any longer anymore, or still other organizations, organizations that still runs here on a low basis. A lot of other people that have interesting stories in their own archives. So what we did is, due to the fact that we have come across many small and large archives, collections, we have now, our exhibition is partly are the main elements from the last exhibition, and we have 4 blocks of drawers. Each block contains 4 drawers, and you have 12 drawers that if one open the drawer, you can read on the front of the drawer which collection it is. Raja, for instance, this is from Mrs. Jimmy Gar. This is a woman that worked. She was one of the participants in an exhibition on the Muslim belief. She says some of her items. So when people are coming now to our exhibition, they can open the drawers and they will read from the archives of particular persons or organizations the stories of those people. And what we want to do is we want to bring together the stories of Southeast, because it is important to know the stories of this area, and the stories of this area are made up by the lives of people who lived here or still lives here, or people who do not live here but they have been working for many years in Southeast. We had many short-term exhibitions, like we had one in terms of 50th anniversary of the Bermermeer, where we look into the way people organize themselves into protesting, activism against things that were not okay, and say the government has to change their policy. We have the latest one was on the Saya and the Koto, it is the club of the Sudanese.
Before the migrant, I think there is only few churches. So at the moment, what do you think about the churches?
Well, what happened is an interesting thing that you bring that up, because maybe the viewers they do not know that, but when they start building houses in this Bermermeer area, the government built houses without any facility for religious institutions, because one of the things those urban planners had, the idea was they say God is dead, God does not exist anymore. Okay. The reason why they say that there were two things. One was to forget that we had First World War, and then the Second World War in the mid 40s, 1939 up to 45, 46. As you know, each year they have the commemoration of the 4th of May, and then Vrijdagsdag on the 5th of May. And the Dam, they have a special ceremony in small places as well. And the idea of coming to the war, the idea of there is no place for God anymore, and in the churches of those days in Holland, they think that people are not visiting the church anymore. The churches are becoming more empty. But now we know that it's not true. People do visit the church, as well. Also, Dutch people do visit the church, but sometimes they experience their church life or the religious life in another manner. Anyway, so the Bermermeer was one of the places that was built without any provision for any religious institution. So it doesn't matter if you're a Christian or if you are a non-Christian or non-believer or Hindu or Muslim or whatever belief one I say that believes and experience in his life, there was no place for it.
Okay.
So a lot of churches started in the living rooms.
In their homes.
In their homes, here for people in their homes. And there was one church from the Dutch, and later on they built this church in they call the Nieuwstad. It's like a collective building for all kinds of churches. But still the majority of churches started in living rooms. And people were coming together in the living rooms and have special service meetings, prayer meetings, choir meetings, etc. And then you have special birthday and name giving rituals and special ceremonies during death as well. Burial ceremonies took place in homes as well. And then afterwards, when the churches start growing, they say, okay, we cannot stay home. We have to move out.
Yeah, we have become many, so we have to.
Correct. And that is the reason why you will see that from the 80s, 90s, you will see a lot of churches start renting places like in community centers, in schools, and auditoriums of schools, school classes, even garages. There were a lot of garages where every Sunday they were organizing church meetings. And one of the last garages, what we know that there was a church meeting was garage campering. You can see down this is the part we had like a display. We make a display of garage campering, but we have teared down that exhibition as well. But you can see at the back, you see the Bible in Akang and in English, because church and religion, I must say, is for migrants everywhere of the world. If you're not from Japan, China, or the vast continent of Africa or the Caribbean, migrants when they move, they migrate together with the religion. So this is the reason now that in Amsterdam Southeast, I think Amsterdam Southeast is the most religious part of Amsterdam, one can say. In Amsterdam West you have a lot of Muslim majority living, but in Southeast here, in terms of multi-religious orientation, is the most multi-religious orientation of whole Amsterdam. Because there are many churches, I think more like around 100, more than 100 churches now. I think there are 7 mosques. There's one mosque that you can see from the outside, that's a mosque, that is a mosque in the Taiba, near Ghanees, but for the rest you cannot see from the outside. I know there are the people with the Hindu people that are trying to have their own temple, but it's very hard, so they are coming together as well in a business location. So there are a lot of churches as well in business location where it's especially, you can say the purpose was to run a business, but there are no businesses to run, so and people are renting those places to organize their own church. So it's one of the most multi-religious part of Amsterdam, here Southeast nowadays.
But you yourself, are you a Christian?
Yes, I am.
People worshiping at home, singing, praying, and doing all kinds of activities in their house. What do you think about that?
Oh, well, I think your home, because it's not only a place that we want to live, isn't it? Your home is not only your living room and your kitchen and your bathroom. Your home becomes vivid due to the fact that you live in it. If you do not live in your home anymore, it becomes empty. And still, when you move from somewhere, you have lived for many years, you will leave things behind. So new people who are going to move this, okay, he or she was a religious person, because you can see, sometimes you see the sign of cross, or you can see other things that you left behind in the house. For me, for myself, to be Christian, it means that my home is a place of grace and of salvation. It must be a place of safetyness. Because when I say I'm a Christian, I also mean that my home is a place where God lives as well. And the Bible tells us God lives in us, so our body is the temple of His. But not only your body, everywhere you go as a human being, you go along with your belief. And your belief is not only things, I will say, that is important on certain days, Christmas or on Easter or on special days. Okay, I think to be a believer in something, in my case, believe in God and His Son Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit, means that wherever I go and the way how I feel the world, I try to feel the world the way how the Bible tells me how to feel the world. So that is a part of my life. My life, especially not only when I leave my home to come to my work, but the way how I behave, how I act, must be a reflection of the way I believe. This is the way how I try to live that life.
Oh. And how do you feel if you see that people are doing all those kind of action in their home, especially in the city? How do you feel?
Well, I do feel that it is a good thing to do that. It is a blessing, one might say as well. But as you know, nowadays, a lot of people cannot, experience the belief the way they want to. For Christian people who are following the news of Christian communities, of churches in the whole world, knows that nowadays there are like with around 320 million Christians in Africa or in some African countries, but as well in India or in Asia, where there's a heavy persecution of Christians. But as well other people like in what's the company name? Like in Burma, where Buddhists fights against Muslims, or in India, where the Hindus fights against Muslims or against Christians and amongst each other. So it is for us in living in the Netherlands. I think it is we must be aware of that for us it's better that we live in a condition and in a country where we can express our religion in a free manner and not to take it for granted, because there are many places in this globe, in this earth, on this earth where it is hard to be the man or woman you want to be because you believe in a certain God.
Okay. Yeah, for you as a person who have been in the society many years, and before there is not too much churches in the community. Now you are mentioning about 100 churches. Can you tell me the reason why there are so many churches in Southeast?
Yes, I think because the reason why there are so many churches in Southeast because church believe not church as a building, but people are treasuring what they are believing. And the belief is a very important part of the private life. And because belief is a very important part of the private life, you want to share it with other people. You can tell somebody, listen, I have a church, do you want to come along with me? And for the majority, it is this, that if you have a certain belief, you want to share it with other people, and one of the way how to share it, you can invite somebody to come to your home. But because belief is well organized, and organizing belief means then you have churches, you have temples, you have schools, you have places to go. And I think that because there are so many people living in Southeast that have that believe, they do believe in something, they do believe in God, or they believe in gods, or they believe in something else. They want to express that belief, and a part of the expressed belief is the possibility to have something where you can go to in your free time, where you can celebrate mutual feast, or where you can invite people to come over and to tell them in sharing in what you believe. I think that's one of the reasons that people have the opportunity, because this is a free country, and you can go and everybody can start a church, and then the question if do you have enough funds, financial funds, and other people to build a church building, or to build a temple or a mosque or whatever you want to build. But it is, I think that is one of the elements of freedom. This is one, but as well the element of to be safe somewhere. And because you know that you are safe here, it is easy that you say, okay, I'm going to build a church because there are a lot of people coming to my home, but I want to have a space outside my home. And yeah, you have the opportunity to do that in the Netherlands.
Oh. Well, also I've learned that before there is a lot of criminal activities in the community. So do you think the churches has given great impact in the community?
Well, let me see this. I know about, I haven't been to all the churches, I've been to many churches, I've been to all the churches, but I know, like the last time, maybe that's a good example of the responsibility of churches. When we had, like a month ago, we had this Black Lives Matter movement and all the demonstrations, and there was as well one organizer in the Bema Park, or we call it Mandela Park.
I was there.
Oh, you were there? Yeah. Okay. And there were, I think, there was this a long program, but on the half of the program, I think there were 3 or 4. There were, I think there was one man from the Muslim community. I forgot what his name is. And there were 4. There was a young one young woman, I guess, and 4 men from several churches where they addressed this issue of discrimination, but one can say as well the issue of criminality. They didn't mention it, but because I see that, is that the church they play an active part in that, in terms of that they are going to discuss with the government about it. I know that in the past, I'm not sure if that's still the case, but I know in the past, like 10 years, 20 years ago, there was this small group of church leaders that had on a regular basis contact with the local council. I'm not sure if that's still going on. I know that it used to be the case like 10 to 15 years ago. But because I've been to many churches, I know that in the sermons, as far the preacher will call up the church gathering, the congregation, in terms of speaking to young children as well, to behave. So I think what I've experienced, and I know, is that churches are calling is okay. This is important to live a free life, but also as well to live a safe life.
Okay.
But what is the policy of churches in the sermons? If they do address criminality as an issue, I'm not sure of that. But what I only can say what I have seen, and to say that they do take the responsibility in terms of talking to people in the community and reaching out to the community. And as one of the gentlemen that was in the Bema Park, sorry, I used to say, I still say Bema Park is Mandela Park. That's the problem, Mandela Park, where he stated that he used to be somebody involved in petty crime, and now he's a youth leader and working with young people to give them challenges, new challenges, and to redirect their lives and to lead a stable life in each community.
Okay, let me put this question across. In the beginning, we were saying people were worshipping at home, and later they find the garages so that they can be able to worship there. But now, if you look around, all the garages have been broke down, and even all the big houses has also broke down, and people find it difficult to go to get a place and worship. What do you think for the future of the churches?
Well, that's a hard one. That's a very hard one. I think one of the best, not one of the best things, I do think that churches must talk with the government and other major actors in this field of buying and selling land to build churches about their need, because there's a certain need. There's a need to have churches, there's a need to go to a special place. This for you and for the rest of the community. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I cannot say exactly what to do, but I do feel that this opportunity that is able to build, but still it's a lack of, as I mentioned before, a lack of provision, because in the government policy they do not provide places for churches.
No, because the government and the churches, they don't have.
No, this is separate.
Yeah.
Question of state, the law, state law and religion separate, but still you can go and you can talk to the government. It is the possibility that you can buy a place where we can have our church meetings. So I will say to all the churches, go and talk to your local government and see what investigate the possibilities. But on the other hand, as you know, there's a shortage of land. Where are you going to build something? And there are a lot of empty spaces at the west side of the train track, the other side of the train track, where they do talk now about a lot of empty offices. Maybe they're going to build their new houses, because due to the economic crisis. A lot of offices are empty now, so people can go down there and talk. Maybe there's a possibility to investigate that part as well and see what the possibilities. I know that there are churches already in some offices building at the other side across the ANC. I think that is Hansbenterug, the part of the park is called. There are some churches already there, organizing in church, in offices that used to be that were designed for offices and for companies. People are moving in, renting the places, and to have to organize their church activities. And maybe those that has a lot of space, like the Kandelaar and like the newer start. I know EBG, the Evangelical Brethren Church. BEG Sani, BEG Kerkje, our own church that is across the camping garage, the Ghanees. They have on the Sunday, but on the Saturday there is space for another church, and on the Sunday afternoon when the church is finished, there's another church coming.
That means they run in shift.
Yes, so they give all the churches the opportunity to come there and to rent the place for the activities, but there's not enough space. So maybe it's a good thing for churches who have access to big buildings where they run the activities. Maybe they can share the space as well with other groups that want to have their own services. But that's the challenge. The ground is scarce and locations are scarce, so but it's a good thing to work together, I will say.
But do you think the government is interested in the churches? Or?
I do think so. Yes, I do think that, because only to the fact that you have the opportunity to have your own church here, to believe, to share your belief, is one thing, a good thing to embrace. But due to the division of state and religion, there's something else. Yeah. But in the space of the living space one has, I think up to now in the Netherlands, we cannot complain about that.
Okay. Yeah, you were saying it's better also for the churches maybe to come together and buy their own houses.
Maybe.
But with it Corona, you know, now people are not feeling interest to go to church anymore. And now how can they raise money to buy their own land?
Yeah, but that goes for everyone over the whole world. That brings us to this project we are doing. Yes, this is true, because we talked about before, is that we are interested to see, we want to know how people live their lives now during this Corona time. Doing this project on how people believe, how they live their experience, their belief, and religion is their home, a place where they share the beliefs with other people and the other members of families, of friends. In terms of Corona, yes, it is a challenge. I'm not sure. I've been trying to follow some churches, and some are running live streams, meetings, or through the local radio. They have live radio, and the Corona is a challenge. But as well, not be able to shake hands or to embrace or to stay close, and it is a challenge. It influences our way of behaving, and I personally feel that in terms of experience your religion on a daily basis, it influences it as well. One of the things is you want to help somebody else, or as you raised the question of put money together, that is a problem. So I think for everyone who believes, and for Christians, because we're talking about Christians now, is that for them they have to deal with each difficulty, one can say. They have to deal with each season. I think somewhere in the Bible there is this verse of for each time there's a season for each thing in our life.
Yeah.
So now we have this Corona season, and we have to deal with this Corona season in a very wise manner as well.
Yeah.
Not to be unwisely and go and do a lot of other things you want to do, and to be modest, because it forces us to be modest. It forces us to be to realize that we are quite weak, and although we are the most, one will say, the smartest animal, if you want to say, you are as human beings, we have knowledge,
yeah.
and we have a soul, and we can reason, and we can project things for the future, and we can reflect on the past. The Corona asks from us as well a way of to see how each of us must deal with it, and especially as well in your own terms of believing. Are you praying more than average, or do you have some special songs you sing more than before, or do you have some special special parts of the Bible or the books that are important for you that you are reading more than before? But as well in terms of finance, because I know that's a problem now for some churches now, because since the fact that they don't have regular incomes anymore,
yeah.
They cannot pay the rent.
No.
That is a challenge, how to solve it. I don't know how to solve it in the first hand, but I think one of the best thing to do is, besides to pray about it, ask God for solution, is to talk about it. And those that are renting the place have to talk to the people they're renting the place from. Listen, we don't have so much income anymore. What can we do? Can you help us? You know, those kinds of things. I think that is a good way to talk about of how we can help each other, and that is one. But as well, just to talk about your own belief and the way you experience that helps, because the Corona forced us to stay at home for many weeks ago, and maybe to come, because we're not sure what's going to happen after the summer. Yes, if you have a phone, call somebody. How are you? Are you okay? If there's somebody in your surrounding, can you help her or him with some shoppings, or maybe you have to cook something extra to bring to the to her or his place, just to help.
Okay, with this situation, and now everybody don't know where we are heading to. For instance, if we come to a time to advise the community, will you be able to do that? To advise maybe the pastors, the church members, will you be able to do that?
Well, I'm not sure if I can advise, because yes, of course I can give advice, but I'm not sure if I can advise on the position that pastors and pastors and community leaders are working. Because I'm not in that position, but I can advise them. My advice will be try in terms of coming together, looking for place. My advice will be go and talk to the local government or look into the community, the local council or the civil service, the ambtenaar, who are in charge of things like housing and other things, are in charge of renting places. I'm not sure who's dealing with that particular, but to talk with those people, this is one thing. But my general advice will be to be aware and to have a connection with the community, because due to the fact that we don't see each other eye to eye so frequently anymore, people do feel sometimes lonely.
Okay.
And I know all these pastors are quite busy in to keep the church together, but still do a good thing to talk to people and to speak to them about the faith. Maybe not, but not only a faith manner, but as well other just daily things about how are you coping. How to live with children at home, those daily things are important as well. Because when you talk about religion, we only feel sometimes that religion is something that you do on certain days.
No.
Going to church on Sunday or Wednesday, or have a special meeting at home, or have a special prayer meeting at your home. But it is the way you live your daily life. And in terms of this corona, because corona has influenced or in a very negative way, you can turn it negative in a positive manner, where you can to read more, have more conversations with your members, with your congregation, call them. A lot of churches are doing now this like Zoom meetings or by Skype meetings as well, on Zoom or through Skype. They have contact as well with each other. So that's one manner. One part to do, so that will be my advice, and keep talking to each other.
How does Corona affect imaginizing?
Well, it's a good thing, Patrick. We have started, as for many people as well, we do work now. For the last couple of weeks, we are partly here in the office. We do work partly at home and partly here in the office. We hope by September we can run a full office again, where we have people here working and giving tours to people or in terms of information, because we do work together with the library. Okay. The library is only open on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday from 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 10 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And since the 1st of July, people can come and sit down and study the library again. Before it was not able to do it, but from July the 1st, past July the 1st, we are able to have people here to sit down and to study here. But still it is on the what we call 1.5 meter distance one has to consider. And for us at Imagine IC, it means that we are doing what we can do. We have this program for the summer program that started yesterday up to, I think, check on my page, I think the 13th of August, 16th of August, we have a special program for young children and their parents. We have 3 kinds of programs where they can come and we talk about the work we're doing here and our heritage tour. And people can go to our website, that is www.ic.nr, where they can check on the program and where they can enroll, because you have to enroll, you have to register for the program, due to the fact that we have, we don't have, through the corona, you have to consider the 1.5 meter distance. We're gonna have a lot of people together, so we are making small groups. And then if they register on a certain time, then they can come here at Imagine IC. Then we give them a tour or we do something else with them as a part of the summer program we are doing. There are all kinds of summer programs in all kinds of other places. The library, I'm not sure the program is, but the library has a program as well. Maybe later on you can check on the schedule what the dates is and the programs is that we have. And what we are doing now in Corona time is, besides that, our starting up our business again with the exhibition, is that we have this project we call Religion Home. And Religion Home is a project where we want to talk about how people experience the daily religion, the religion on daily basis.
Okay.
How do they see their home? Is it the only place where we live? Or is it as well a place where you do worship? Is it a place where you can come together with other people to talk about your belief? Do you do special rituals, like you have a special prayer? Do you have a special song, special singing? So we want to come in contact with people that would like to share their experience with us. And it is Corona, so can we see each other? No. Well, maybe, because we are going to the new situation. But what I do is, if there's people they want to share the experience with us, then I will call them. And I will interview them by telephone or by or via Skype. Yeah. Then we have a Skype conversation, and we have then a conversation, a short interview of the last almost 35 minutes to a half hour, where I will ask them about, like, how long do you live here? How do you experience your belief here? Do you live in Southeast? Yes, but how do you experience your belief here as a believer? In this part, do you have the feeling that you must be secretive, that you must be aware of your belief, or can you go everywhere and say, listen, I'm a Christian, or listen, I'm a Muslim, or I'm somebody else, I do something else, and I can go everywhere, or if I cannot go in certain parts of Southeast, or certain parts of Amsterdam, because I will be afraid, or people are going to, exclude me off, or people are going to insult me because I have a certain belief. As well, we want to ask people how do they experience the belief in this Corona time. So I want to come in contact with viewers that would like to share their experiences. And what we are going to do is, first of all, I'm going to collect these stories. So I'm just having a story with them, and then later on, because we want to make put together an exhibition. At the end of this year, beginning of early next year, we might use some of those stories, but we will before we use maybe a part of an interview, we will talk to the people, ask them permission again, because it is not a law to, if I interview somebody without this or her permission. The way how we work, we use an extract of the material. So we always ask them, approach them for permission in advance. Listen, I want to use the code, and can I use it in a written version or in an audio version? And because if I use Skype in an audiovisual version, can we do that? And people must always give the consent. This is one thing. So I want to come in contact with people that can share their experience with us, their stories. And the other thing is, because the way how we work in the way of participatory methodology. Everything we do together. Actually, see how the objects we have here on a long basis in our exhibition. So if I have interviewed someone and he or she has shared a story with us, then I will ask them, do you have maybe something in your home that can illustrate your story? It can be a song, it can be somebody sing something, it can be a prayer, they can read a prayer or sing the prayer. It can be maybe a special book, Bible or something else that is special for that person. So, and they can call me. They can go to the IC website. That is www.imaginic.nl. They can
also contact you by phone.
By phone, yes. 417 65 745 06 417 65 745. As well, my app, you can send me a picture or a short question into the app, and then I will call them, and then we can talk about it. They can as well send me an email. That is Jules. My first name is Jules. That is JULES at imaginic.nl.
Well, to end our conversation, let me put it. Are you people working with the government, or you are working separately?
Well, yes, we are in organizing terms. We are a foundation. So as a foundation, we do work with all kinds of organizations here in Amsterdam, also Amsterdam as well with the local government.
Okay.
So we are in contact with the government as well. Yes.
Because the reason I'm asking is because this is a huge building, and I think you people are going to pay the rent.
Yes, that is true. That is true. The rent is, I'm not sure the rent is, but because there are two organizations here, the library and IC, and together those organizations are paying the rent. But don't ask for the rent because I don't know.
And how do you pay with this corona when you are closed?
Well, we are open on the days of the library. We are open between Monday and Friday. We are open for tours because we are not full staff now.
Okay.
The best thing to do is to send us the email. Listen, I'm interested to see the exhibition.
Okay.
Can I come? Can I come alone? Can I come with groups? Yes, let us know that in advance. For parents with children, that is free. They can come. Well, my last recommendation is that everybody still safe and healthy and live your belief. I will say. And hopefully I might see the viewers when we're going to have launch the exhibition. I will let you know.
Okay, wonderful people, that is all we have for you today. So next time I will bring another person. Minie, thank you very much as you receive.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Patrick, for this occasion, and for all the viewers that are watching Adom TV. And Adom, what is Adom?
Adom is grace.
Okay, grace.
That is God grace.
In Akan.
In Akan.
Okay.
Are you gonna dance you if I show you my money? Are you gonna dance you if I show you the way? Are you gonna dance you if I show you my pockets, baby? Are you gonna dance you if I show you